inherited my great-grandfather's homestead with the goal to bring it back to its former glory. It has a $1 million debt and a lot of tricks up its sleeve. Will I succeed? Will I fail? Find out in today's video. P.S. Thank you to G Portal for hosting today's video. Hey, just want to give a quick shout out to Elroy, aka Riggs Ranch on TikTok. Links will be down in the description below. He's the person who made this save game on Silver Run Forest. Huge shout out to the man. I love this save game. He did an awesome job with it. I did some tweaking to it, but he did the best job ever. Couldn't ask for nothing better. Go check him out. Links will be in the description below. Let's get into the video. I inherited my great-grandfather's homestead with the goal to bring it back to its former glory. It has a $1 million debt and a lot of tricks up its sleeve. Will I succeed? Will I fail? Find out in today's video. P.S. Thank you to G Portal for hosting today's video. All right, let's go and turn right here. Got $8,020 to my name. A nice little dirt bike and hopefully a good future in front of me. It's been years since I've been to old grandpa's farm. Can't wait to see the way it looks. All right, I remember the old, yep, there it is. Turn right here. And right there's the entrance to grandpa's farm. It's been years since I've been here. And I hate this is the circumstances that I'm having to come back at, but kind of look around, see what's here. The barn looks good, somewhat standing. Cattle look decent over there. Okay. Got some pigs over there, some chickens. Okay. I'm gonna park the truck right here. Well, home sweet home. Kind of look around, see what all grandpa did with this place. Oh, he finally upgraded the sprayer. Okay, upgrade to that sprayer right there. I mean, we got a 4250. Ain't really seen too many of these. Nice looking tractor. Be more than enough horsepower for the land we have around here. Got some hay equipment. The chickens look like they're doing good. Let's see what's back here. Whew. Oh, the first tractor of the farm, the 730 John Deere. Then you got yourself another, oh, what is that? 820 John Deere. Some potatoes left over from crop planting. Okay. Looks like we got a corn crib over here they use for drying out corn. The horses look like they're doing good. Do they need food or water right now? Nope, they're 100% healthy. Okay. Oh, if they did, we at least got hay bales we can chuck in there for them. Just gonna kind of put this in here just to make sure that they don't eat. Yep, there you go. Just to make sure. So what are the horses' names? Liberty and Remington. Okay. I got so much to figure out. I got to figure out like all the stuff that's going on here on the farm. And I know a little bit. Grandpa left me like a little bit of information of like this is what we were doing and the people who kind of helped him out. There we go. All right. Fire the old girl up. Pull her forward. Back her on up. There we go. All right. Now let's go take a little cruise around and see what's all here. So I know these are some chickens. He has free range chickens that he does have, and he has a couple pigs, not too many. Let's see. Let's see what their food situation looks like. They got a little bit, not much. Probably need to put some more in there just in case. We only got 4 pigs. Okay. Chickens look like they're doing pretty good. Cattle. See how the cattle look. Got 10 head of cattle. Everything looks pretty good with them actually. I want to see how they actually are doing. So we got 23 months and 23 months. Both of them are 60% of the way to having a calf. So we'll let all the cows kind of have their calves and kind of make decisions after that. Yeah, this is the field. So we actually have to clear out all of our fields. We have to hand clear out each and every one of them and then disc them up. So this is a field ready to actually be cultivated under and be planted. All right, let me go check on the second property. So I'm gonna go to the farthest way part and then come back this way. So yep, this is grandpa's old shed right here, shop. So this is where grandpa used to fix other farmers equipment for them. Yeah, I mean, it still does sometimes. Looks like this is his actually. So a lot of what's left out here and that kind of stuff is all his. All the other clients came and got their stuff and everything that's left is all mine. All right, we'll mess with that later. I'm gonna go check the other. Now this is where grandpa used to have a little, what was it? His vineyard part of the farm. Now it looks like he put some sheep over here, kind of keep them contained. Now this looks like we have some oats ready to harvest, which is great because I'm taking a guess the horses need it. So we got oats that we gotta do today. We gotta cultivate a field today. Nice little John Deere. Let's see if anything's inside this shed right here. No, nothing. Okay, dang it. Okay, so we got ourselves a little list. I guess the best thing to do is just to go ahead and get started. First thing is first, we're going to go ahead and get some of that grass, or go ahead and get that field cultivated so that we have a little bit more look of the lay of the land. Shut that off right there. Looks like an old International right here. I don't really remember this thing too much. It must have been one of the tractors Grandpa picked up so that he could use it with this old cultivator. Come on, put her in gear and let's start mulching this field. Yeah, start cultivating all this stuff up underneath the ground. Trying to push a lot of this greenery underneath because we are going to make this into a prime little candidate for a field. I honestly want to turn this, not only do I want it into a field, but I honestly want to turn it into an actual row crop field because it looks like we got plenty of grass. All right, well, a little interesting. Shut off on me. That's old equipment down there. We'll have to take a look at her, see what could have caused that. And just like that, we got the whole field cultivated underneath like she needs to be. The first job on the chore list is done. Now we just gotta get the next job on the chore list done. That's gonna be harvesting those oats. Jump on in here, fire her up, and go ahead and rush up here. There we go. All right. Let's see if the old Maxie Ferguson starts or not. Come on. There we go. Finally got her started up. Have it lifted up. We'll come down here. I saw it. Yep, that's the header we need right there. So we'll just kind of drop this off right here out of our way and attach the correct header. We're looking good so far. Got the whole thing going. We'll take this over there. I don't know if it'll honestly even be a full harvester load out of this, but we'll kind of take this over there and at least just take a peek and see. It might be at least one or two. I'm not sure. All right, set that down like that right there. Fire this up like this. Okay, not too bad. Don't imagine the yield's gonna be that great, but we'll take what we can get. So it's not the most yield in the world, but it should be enough to kind of help feed the horses. That's the main goal of this field, is make sure we keep the horses fed. And then also we get straw for the cattle pasture, so if we can start getting manure. And we're finally done. Turn the harvester off. We'll take this back to the farm and go ahead and bring the baler actually back over here and bale that up. All right, go ahead and unload this into here and we'll deal with this later. Especially, I don't got to worry about this for a little bit. Just going to go ahead and park it up in the barn. I'm not going to worry about reattaching the corn header. All right, turn her off. We're good there. Jump on the old motorbike. I need to go and get a tractor. I need to see something though, which baler we're going to use. You know what? Actually, we'll take that one. We may have just got done using it, but we'll at least use it to go and bale with. All right, go and lower that down. Let's start baling. I think we'll be good if we get about 2 bales off this. All right, so I'm actually gonna leave that right there, and I'm gonna take this on to the farm and go ahead and just leave it there for, or unload it at the farm. Go ahead and put that down. There we go. Pull right here and cut her off. All right, next step. Getting some mowing done. We got a lot of grass needs to be cut. So this will probably be the field we'll go ahead and mow. We'll mow this one and that one real fast and just have those two already knocked out and out of the way so that we can go and bale them tomorrow once they dry out a little bit. Got the mower hooked up. We're going to drag it on over to the field after we manage to get it out of this. Pull it on out of here. Need to cut some of these trees back, a lot of them actually. I don't know if we're gonna bale this yet or if we're actually gonna go ahead and probably put in a silage pit. Silage pit would be great. right, we're good there. We're gonna take this back to where it belongs, park it up. We're just gonna probably park the tractor with it for right now. And I don't really know much more we need to do. We'll kind of look around, make sure all the animals are fed. I do know we need to feed the pigs, so we're gonna probably go over there and go feed them real fast. Pull this in right here. Shut that off. We're good there. All right, and yep, there is the feed. We'll stop this right here. Turn the old girl off. Grab this machine. I need the pallet forks, which is in front of the bucket. Great. Made sure those chickens have feed over there. We're just gonna back this thing on up and take it over here to the other chickens and make sure they got plenty of food. All right, now let's just go do the last little bit of the job for today, and that is going and grab the bale that's in the field. All right, got that thing hooked up right there. We'll take it on back to the front and put her up with the rest of them. All right, shut her off just like that. Well, so far, she's not doing too bad of a job. She's doing a really good job. Not going to take as long as I thought it would, actually. I didn't know exactly how long it was going to take. I figured it'd take a little bit longer than what it actually is. We'll come back around here, and this will be the first one done. Put this back where we got her from. First little bit of job done. Now we got to go ahead, head right back down there. Oh, actually, you know what? We need this machine because we're going to need to pick up bales afterwards. We'll put that going back down there, so we're going to go right here. This is our little bit of a quick way down. I don't know what honestly use it for. I just use it as a quick getaway. Okay, so we got the 756 out here. We're gonna start making us some hay bales. Not the biggest ones in the world, but we'll make something at least. I want to say we'll probably get about six or seven is what I think we'll get today. Well, the tractor decided to shut off again. I might take her on in and take a look at her oil. But that'll be for after we're done baling, which so far so good, actually. We've actually gotten a good number of bales. It's just keeping this thing in the proper gear. Starting to think I probably should have used the bigger tractor. Well, actually, we did a lot better than I think I thought we would. Because we did, if I had to guess, 10 according to the bale counter. It's not as bad as I thought after all. We'll go ahead and take this back over here. And most likely the new piece of equipment should be here. We can go ahead and get started with harvesting some good old potatoes. We went ahead and picked up the old potato harvester. We're going to bring it on over here and start some harvesting. How did that cow get out? You know, that's not my problem right now. I'll figure it out later. Here we go. Oh, this is definitely going to take a little bit of time to get all these done. I'm not looking forward to this. And after about 5 minutes later and Nathan losing patience, we got a solution. I went ahead and called up my buddy who owns this little machine right here. He only charged me a little bit over $1,000 for it. So we're going to take this on over here and knock these potatoes out with this, which will be faster because look at the size of that header on that thing. I don't have the patience for that small one. I tried it. I gave it a few minutes and I just did not have the patience at all. So now this time, we can, oh, look at there. We can actually harvest correctly now. And it not take me 20 years to harvest this little bit of a field. got all the potatoes harvested just so that I can take them all the way over here and unload them on the ground for the pigs. Yeah, I forgot the fact that they were for the pigs. So that meant I spent a whole lot of money specifically for pigs. I'm regretting right about now. I'm gonna let that go ahead and start unloading right there, and I'm actually gonna head all the way and grab the skid steer real fast and take the skid steer and grab the little bit of potatoes that I poured out on the ground from the first harvester we had. Come back with that like that. There we go. Okay, return to harvester. Got a little pile of potatoes going right here for the pigs. They're doing good now. They've got some extra feed, so we're good for there a little bit. Chickens look like they're doing halfway decent. They got enough feed for right now as well. Yep, those chickens have food. Cattle 100% healthy. Only thing pretty much now we need to do is run over there, grab bales, which probably most of those bales are actually gonna go to the sheep, which are right over there. So we're probably not even gonna move them too far out of the way. All right, we got 3 bales. We'll go ahead and see how many of these sheep will take. Go ahead and lower these 2 back here. Back that up here, pull it up. There we go. So we're just trying to move as many of these bales as possible. We want all of them kind of piled over there out of the way. Cattle actually have plenty of hay. Horses had hay in their barn still. So we're good on both of those. The sheep are the only ones without any. Okay, so we got all the bales moved. I'm taking the old tractor right here. I'm gonna go ahead and go down there and cultivate that last little field. And that'll be the last little thing we gotta get done today. The reason we're not mowing this grass right now is there's a section in the main paddock part that was cut. I guess he cut because he needed a little portion right there. Don't know what he needed out of it, but he cut it, didn't finish it all the way. So now we're gonna be the ones that finish it later once it grows back. Starting to cultivate this field. Shouldn't honestly take too long. This is one of my favorite jobs doing the farm. We're just getting some cultivation done. So I've been sitting here thinking while I've been doing this, we're going to expand this field out a little bit, bring it a little bit closer to the edge. We need to start doing more with what we have, and this could honestly basically double the size of the field. It really does, actually. Holy crud, are we expanding it? Yeah, that's actually a nice little area right there. See, sometimes you just got to expand what you got and make a little bit more money doing that way. $13,000 spent, and we're going to go pick ourselves up a new tractor. It's soybean harvest season, and I don't trust our current tractors to pull what we have. So I went ahead and I was looking online at the dealership, and they had a good tractor for $13,000, and I think it's going to match every one of our requirements. I also went ahead and got the welder out last night and welded a new bracket to the truck and got a tow hitch put behind her. So now we can officially tow with this truck and do everything we want, and we don't got to worry about it anymore. Make a turn right here. There we go. And now the good old fashioned turn around it. So we've already paid for the tractor, and here she is, an 8830 Ford tractor. It's got a little bit longer of a nose than I would originally have wanted, but she starts up as a good sounding motor, and you know what, for what we need, she's gonna do just fine. So we can go ahead and pull her onto the trailer just like that, right there. Go ahead and strap her down. Let's go get a last little bit of paperwork from the office, and then we'll head on back to the shop. And a long conversation later, we're finally getting on the road and heading out. Putting the ramps up real fast. Nobody's coming. We'll head on down the road. On the road again. I do got to give it to this Dodge. I really am starting to fall in love with it. It's a nice old truck. Maybe eventually we'll go ahead and get something a little bit newer. Another thing we've also got to do today is also take the same tractor once we get done harvesting and throw some lime. I want to get all of our fields pH fixed, because if you look here, some of our pH is in the worst spots, and we want to fix that. And part of fixing it is getting everything done. So we're going to take this on back to the shop. Once we get this to the shop, we'll go ahead and get her off. I do think I am going to start considering getting rid of some more of the tractors. There's a tractor actually in there, John Deere, we're thinking about getting rid of as well. It's just we need something that's going to have a little bit more horsepower to pull stuff around the farm. And I don't think having those little tractors are going to help. This tractor right here is going to be getting the job of gravity wagon job. Not the most luxury for it, but it's a job that needs to be done. And I don't want to put the John Deere on it. Also, this is going to be the tractor to help split our hours between the John Deere. Now we can finally get this old girl off of here, get her out of the way, and get the newer / older tractor up here. Look at that, hooks up just perfect. And this will have a lot more horsepower to pull it up and down this little mountain right here. It does not like going up the hill with the other tractors. Honestly, none of the other tractors like going up the hill. So this is going to be our best bet. We'll go ahead and get this right here, leave it right there. Day is nothing but beans, and we got a ton of them. Massey Ferguson lifted up with the bean header. I am thankful we left the bean header on here. I almost switched it the other day for the corn, but I didn't know which one would be ready first. Well, now we found out real quickly today. I'm also going to turn the separator on because I don't want to be baling any of the beans. I would rather that nutrients go back into the soil of the ground. Yeah, this is looking phenomenal, actually. We're getting way better results out of these fields than we did any of the other ones. So far, this is yielding really well. We're in the green. We're at 104% on the yield. This is some of the best soil in the county. And we have so many projects this winter, it's not even funny. Finally done with harvesting the beans. We'll take this on down to the road and go ahead and get this stuff sold for hopefully a little bit of money. Okay, we'll go and pull up to the co-op here, get our weight. So I don't normally come down to the co-op this often, and this is a nice looking place around here. Got all the equipment that they can need. We are actually going to be coming back here soon to grab one of those things right there, probably even that maybe to pull it with. Soybeans are this first one right here. We'll go ahead and unload it and sell the soybeans. $33,000. Oh, that is what the farm needed. It's been a little bit since we were able to get some good money coming into the farm, and this is how we change the tides. So we'll go ahead and take this on. Oh, That's sad. Take this on back to the farm, then we'll go grab the John Deere. We'll come back over here and lease one of those pieces of machine and then get it loaded full of lime because we got a lot of liming to do, especially on the fields we just harvested. Yeah, look at that. It's not the best. Alrighty. We got the old John Deere fired up. We're going to take it back over there and get the lime spreader and start spreading some lime because our fields need it quickly. All right, there's the check for the 5,000 and I'll be back a little bit later to pay for the lime itself. Well, we went ahead and got the lime trailer hooked up. We are not paying for the lime just yet. They're going to weigh me as I leave and then weigh me when I come back to find out how much lime I end up using and then charge me appropriately. Instead of just charging a flat rate, I would rather do a variable because this is going to get expensive quickly. We also don't run the most land in the world. We will nowhere near use all this here lime. Another good thing about this piece of equipment is it has a wide spread on her, so we can really just get it done really quickly. This overall shouldn't take us too long to get done. Fixing the lime, this should also pay for itself next year. We shouldn't have to put any more lime down for about a year or two, or at least that's the hope. I'm hoping for at least 2 years we're not going to put lime down. Maybe in certain areas we will, but I don't think this is going to be one of them. We're also going to try to put some lime on these grass fields and see what that looks like and if it helps out anything. I know it's probably not normal to put a bunch of lime on a grass field in a year like this, but we're just going to do it to kind of help the pH in here because especially the area that I'm about to go over has the worst pH out of the entire farm. I'm not going to get every nook and cranny of this little field right here. I just want to get the main majority of it, because at least that means we're making a little bit more grass than we would have if we wouldn't have done anything. Fixing these fields right here is going to it's going to help out the farm so much. And it sucks that we're having to use much lime as we are, because we're never going to let the fields get this bad again, because it's going to take out a pretty good chunk of change out of our pocket just for having to fix all of this area and fixing all the lime in this areas. No, it's not good. The only thing we cannot throw lime on right now will be the cornfield. And being the cornfield, we do got this thing for at least a month. So we can harvest the cornfield, throw some lime on it afterwards, and then immediately take this back is going to be the game plan. And I'm going to try to make sure I hit all the grass areas like this right here. They're not terrible areas for lime or pH, but they're enough where I'd like to go ahead and get them hit, especially the grass, because we may I don't know, we might need to hit grass every year with lime to make sure that its pH stays good. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as I round the corner right here with the last little bit of lime, thank you guys for the love and support you showed to me and the entire family. We're gonna put this up for right now and end up harvesting the corn next time and getting a lot of tillage done and have some fun. Good morning or afternoon. We had to wait a little bit today. We had some earlier rains that kind of prevented us from getting anything done. And while it was raining, I kind of looked in my front yard, saw 3 trucks and a bunch of tractors. Well, we don't need all this. I think it's time we start getting rid of a little bit of stuff. And this truck right here, as much as I hate to get rid of the International, it's a good truck. It's just not my truck. So I don't really need it here on the farm anymore. And it's also worth about $16,000. So bye is what we're saying to this truck. On top of saying goodbye to that truck, we're also going to come all the way over here, grab this little sucker. We don't need it for anything. I mean, anything that this thing can do, that can do. So we don't really need it. I'm at the point I don't really want to be keeping stuff that we don't need anymore. I want to kind of get rid of it all. If it's not needed on the farm, I buy to it, is all I can say. Now, there's a certain bit of equipment that are going to be safe, kind of like this right here. I originally looked at this, so this is something I want to sell, the Alzheimer's. I'm not selling this. We also need to start selling equipment because a lot of our equipment just isn't as powerful or isn't powerful enough to really pull it. Something that I'm considering getting rid of, and I want your guys' opinion. I'm thinking about getting rid of this tractor right here, getting rid of the John Deere 820 right here. It's a good tractor, just don't have enough horsepower. On top of the John Deere 820, I also am thinking about getting rid of this beautiful 730 right here as well. Again, it just don't have enough horsepower. Maybe getting rid of some of these implements. Not that we need that, actually. Just trying to limit what we got because we're struggling even coming up the hill to the main farm at this point. And if the equipment can't make it up the hill or do its job, we don't need it, is my opinion. But I want your guys' opinion as well on it. But today, this is all we're selling. maybe sell more later, but today we're selling this and calling it good. Taking this to the dealership. Hopefully go ahead and get some good money back on a lot of this equipment because we're broke. We're down to $1,000 and the only way I can see us getting out of it is if we sell the stuff we don't need. Go ahead and turn right here. We got a nice little ride all the way to the dealership. Okay, so we should be coming up on the old dealership. Yeah, there she is. Come on, you old rig. Come on, you got it. Oh, this thing's bellowing black smoke today. Go ahead and pull on into the dealership. Ain't nothing we need here today. We're just trying to get rid of some old equipment to kind of build some capital back up. Let me go ahead and get these two unloaded. Let me go ahead and walk in there and talk to the dealership man, and we'll get ourselves some nice checks. So we ended up getting $18,000 for the truck, and we ended up getting $6,000 for the little tractor, which is what they're actually worth. And so I'm actually really happy to take that on back to the farm and know that we got ourselves some good deals here. Did some little bit of talking to them right here about some of their equipment because I'm really eyeing some of their planters. Oh, I really want it. Can't afford it, yo. Can't afford it. Got to keep going. We'll head on back to the main farm and get back to work because there's a lot to do today. Backing it on up, putting the trailer up for today. We shouldn't need it anymore. Detach the trailer. Perfect. Drive this back up to the main house. And then we got tillage to get done. Actually, what we need is not even up there, so we're not going up there today. So what we're going to end up needing is this old girl right here. We're just going to use the bigger tractor for the cultivator. Honestly, this is about to become the main workhorse of the farm. I've started realizing the last few days a lot of our tractors don't have power. One of my biggest concerns right now is getting more power for all the farm so that we can split up the main majority of the work between multiple tractors instead of just one like this. And honestly, I wouldn't feel bad about getting something kind of like this tractor right here, or even getting something like this. I mean, I'm not stuck to just American brands for this, but I would be honestly a nice one to pick up a second one of these almost. Oh, maybe. Yeah, we got a couple of options that we can do. I'm not 100% sure what we're going to go with yet, but we will be making our mind up eventually. And part of making our mind up is going to be getting this field cultivated under. I want to go ahead and get this field all nice and prettified because this is definitely going to be a bean ground or something like that for next year. And I honestly might extend them. Fields like this right here are hard for me to gauge if I can extend them or not. Especially, like, I could probably extend it downwards, but I'm trying to figure if I can do it lengthwise or widthwise as well instead of just length. You know what? I bet we can right here. Do some of that right there. Just like that. Yeah. There we go. So we're making the fields a little bit bigger as well. Ain't gonna hurt nothing. If anything, it's just gonna help us out a lot by helping us make more revenue. I wouldn't mind coming back through and pulling some of these trees up. There's actually a spot a little ways up here that I'm going to be taking out during the winter. Probably going to call in a buddy of mine or something like that to help me out with it, but there's a nice little spot that I'll show you guys here in a minute. I eventually need to come down here and look at that as well, see if that still runs, because if it does, that would be a perfect piece of equipment to run on the farm. Come on. There we go. Thank you stalling out on me. I think she needs some maintenance pretty badly. And we might, before we do our next task of the day, go take her up and get her maintenance a little bit, because right now that is kind of concerning. But good news is this task is done for the day. All the fields that have been harvested already have been cultivated under, so they're good to go while we go ahead and take this up there and go and get looked at. And $500 of parts later, we got the old girl back up and running. She should be working fine now. So now we'll just take this on out of here and take it back down there to the bottom to where we can go ahead and start working on some silage. Silage is a really big part of the cattle's diet. We've been blessed that we had a lot made already, but we're running low on our supply of cattle feed. So that's starting to mean we need to start making more. To make more, we need silage, and our pit is out. Gotta wiggle it on out of here, and like that, we are out. Go ahead and start mowing this down. All of this area right here is gonna be nothing but good old silage. Hopefully we can sell some of it too to continue making money. I want to stop for a second, get out here and take a look. Yep, crimper's working decent right now. So long as the crimper's working, we're just gonna keep on riding. Okay, so we got the old girl pulled out. This little bit of windrows I don't think's been used in years. I had to dig out the front sway bar and she was buried in the ground. So it's gonna be interesting. She's at least working halfway decent for what I can see. And as long as she's working, we're gonna put her to work and get this field fully windrowed so we can come back in with a baler and bale the grass. We are gonna bale it a little bit on the wetter side because we want to make silage out of it. And the best way to make silage is to in fact have a little bit wetter grass. But we're finally getting her done. We're finally getting the baler out here. This field took us long enough to get it out here. We actually are looking really good. I got the whole place windrowed into some nice, neat, organized rows. They're not the most organized, but they're organized enough. 80, 90, 100. Oh, this is going to take a while, but this is going to be a lot of silage. Hopefully some good money as well. Then we also got to head to the co-op later to pick up something to spray on this field because it's going to need some nutrients after all this. Finally getting down to the last little bit of grass right here. We've produced already 25 bales so far, and that is honestly a lot more than I thought we would get out of here. So we're definitely going to need to put down some more nutrients down so that hopefully if we can get another cut, I don't think we will actually off this field, but if we can, it'll be good. If not, next year's cut is going to be amazing. But speaking about amazing, 26 bales in total. I will take that all day long. Now I get to do the fun job of running all the way through here with the bale wrapper, wrapping on the bales and all that fun, glorious stuff. I don't like doing it at all, actually. Detach the baler. Go ahead and run over here, grab this little sucker, and hopefully this makes our lives a little bit easier when it comes to making silage. I don't know how this tractor just kind of got stuck with fork job, but it does a good job at it. Good afternoon, everybody. This is the first video after the vacation. Feeling great, feeling fantastic. We've got a lot of stuff to do today, though. First thing on the agenda is we gotta get this corn harvested out. It's not much corn, but it's still out there in the field, needs to be taken care of. And we are also looking at $32,000 in our pocket right now, which is not a lot of money. We're getting good money with the horses right now. They're becoming more and more valuable. Our current value of our horses is actually $16,000 a piece, so I'm enjoying that. Our cattle are worth good money, and our pigs are getting up there in value as well. Chickens, they're chickens. Oh, they need more food badly. So, we'll go ahead and reattach that, lift this up. So first thing on the agenda today is park this over here out of the way and go ahead and attach ourselves the corn header. It's not much of a cornfield, but it's still enough where I want to go ahead and get it done and out of the way for the day, because there's a lot of other little things I want to do, like get this thing fully limed. That'll be the last foot, needs to be limed. Also going to get cultivated. I want to bring the field out a little bit more, actually. So go ahead and turn on the harvester just like that. There we go. It's going to take us a little bit to kind of chop down all this corn. It's not much, but it's enough when you only have 3-4 rows at a time. So I have been thinking about this a lot, about what my goal is with this farm. And there is some little projects here and there that I have that I want to come up here soon and do. Part of those projects are clearing out more land, conjoining pieces of land, like maybe getting rid of that grass field right there and making it into a part of the field. So that means got to get rid of all these logs and stuff like that. Also, we have a huge chunk of land up here. We have land right here. We haven't used it right now. So a lot of that stuff, or yeah, it's really the only land. And then you got some land up in this area that we're not using. So pretty much I want to utilize all the land to our best abilities for the benefit of the farm. And corn harvest is finally done. I'm actually gonna feed this to the pigs because this is not enough corn for us to really worry about, but it's enough to at least feed the pigs for a little bit. That's one main issue I do find with this farm, is a lot of the fields are only big enough to feed the animals we currently got, and I don't like that, especially with all the other details going on the farm. Like, we need certain things on this farm we just can't afford yet. Wasn't much, but it was enough to at least keep the pigs fed, and we'll be able to put this up now and finally get on to our next task of the day, which is going to be extending and cultivating that one field, then throwing lime on it after, of course, we purchase the soil nutrients and all that stuff. And turn this around like this. Actually, we'll leave that right there, and we're going to take the forward real fast and use it for cultivation. See, this is what I want to do. I want to start upgrading and buying more tractors like this that can hold their own, especially this off season when we're not harvesting or worrying about crops. I really want to worry about getting more farm work done. This is one of our other cultivators that we do got here on the farm. So we have two cultivators, this one and another one. The other one looks older and isn't as good a shape technically, but we use both of them, or at least try to use both of them with sense. There we go. So extending the field out a little bit more. That's just my main goal. I want to extend the fields out, and I also want to bring in a jackhammer here eventually. I want to get rid of a lot of the rocks and stuff like that that can be jackhammered away. Now this is going to make this field so much bigger and so much more worth money. That's been my main goal, is make sure that each field is making us double what it did the year before just on productivity alone. And part of the productivity goal is getting this out here and getting this done. And one other thing we are going to do eventually in the fall or in the spring is we're going to put hydrous down on the fields that we're going to plant corn in. And we are done with that. Take this tractor back up here, limit the fields, just so we don't accidentally throw it down and make a big mess in the farmyard. I've really started to love this tractor. The more we've had it, it sounds phenomenal. Not only does it sound phenomenal, it also rides really well and pulls great. Okay, so went ahead and spent $1,000, make sure the pH is perfect there. I don't know why it doesn't trigger as there, but there we go. Got this as a nice little field now. Now we're headed to the shop to go pick up a impact hammer, I guess you'd call it. I'm not sure. All right, I'm gonna stop for a second and I'm gonna talk about this right here. All the silage is ready to go. It's pretty much great price right now, but it's $41,000 what we would get right now. I'm not sure if I want to sell it or keep it around for cattle. I know I could honestly do another load of that. I don't know if I want to spend all that time doing that, or if I did, first thing I'm upgrading is that silage wrapper. I would love to pick up a wrapper somewhat like this right here. That one. Yeah, one of these other ones that's, you mean, a lot faster and able to do it better. And speaking about stuff that can do it better, we got to come up here to this hydraulics. So we need to rent that. We're not buying it, we're renting it. Well, I'm not 100% sure what it's called, but I'm gonna call it the hydraulic jackhammer. And there's a lot of rocks that need to be taken out in this here town. There we go. Go ahead and start breaking these down. There we go. That was a big one. We'll take care of all the rocks in a little bit, but I'm more worried about getting rid of the actual boulders first. It's a phenomenal piece of technology. There we go. Go ahead and let this thing have at it on this one as well. Another one bites the dust. I know this ain't the most interesting content, but hey, this is a job that has to get done, especially around the farm, so that we can continue expanding in the future. I'm gonna actually take this all the way up over there. There's another rock that's over there that I want to get while I'm thinking about it, because that rock is a pain in my neck. Get this one knocked out as well. There we go. This isn't the most interesting, but these areas right here, once we get these last few rock cleared, we'll be able to come in here and really, and I mean really, turn this into some farmland. Not gonna be the biggest piece of farmland, but it's gonna be more land than what we're currently using. Once we get done with this, I'll see you guys back at the farm and we'll continue on with the day's task. Okay, well, might as well go ahead and take this spreader on back and finally get charged for how much money we owe them. It's probably going to be a lot more than I want to pay, especially stating we went through 30%. All right, go ahead and pull up here. Of course, they know the weight of it before we left. Now they know the weight after. I guess I'll pull up here and get how much I owe them. All righty, $4,000 later, instead just go drop it around back and they'll take care of it from there. Hey, I'm happy. We only had to pay $4,000 for all this usage. Also had to pay a little bit extra for since we kept her a little bit longer. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the good old homestead. And we got a lot to do today. Winter is here and it's time to get everything winter prepped. Everything from the mower finally getting put up. It doesn't have a deck for some reason. We need to fix that eventually, but for right now, that's not our problem. Maybe sell that. Everything that's out in the open has got to go. Also, I was over here earlier taking a little gander over here at these nice beautiful hogs. We have 4 new piglets, so that means the 4 old ones are time for them to go. They're both at kind of their stage where I would max value them at $1,000 a piece. They're worth a good amount, so it's time to go ahead and let them go and start our next bit of the journey with more little piggies. Plus, the little pigs don't eat as much as the big hogs do. They're not going to be worth much more, especially since they're going to be eating a lot of food. I just got to make sure they can cover the bill, and that is what they're going to do right now. Now, the little pigs, of course, we're offspring of them, so we don't got to worry about that. And part of my little morning job duties is I want to go ahead and check on the sheep and the cows, and also kind of show you guys what I'm thinking as well. So all this equipment that's in the yard has got to be put in a barn by today. Also, the horses are looking really good at $18,000. We may be getting rid of one of them sooner rather than later. Let's go ahead and roll on down here to the cattle pen. Mineral feeds. Okay, make sure. All right, so cattle are looking like, yeah, they need some more food. Right now they have is hay, so I want to go ahead and get them some more food. This is staying down here. We have the hay. We actually have the silage as well. We have everything we need to make it. We just haven't made it yet. Another little thing I want to do today is come out here, take a chainsaw, cut all these down, and then cultivate the area and combine these two little fields right here. Just something simple that'll also bring us more yield is the end goal. Now let's go check on the sheep. And I do know the grass is probably tall enough where we could go ahead and do one last harvest. I just don't really want to do that right now. We should have enough of everything to get us through the winter. And speaking about stuff, we got plenty of nice little sheep out here. They do need some more water, it looks like, this morning. Oh, we have some hay bales. Push come to shove, we can always buy more, and we got plenty of wool. This needs to go to as well today. That's another thing. Everything that's on the farm is pretty much max value, so if we can sell it, we're selling today. Because it's earlier in the day and it hasn't got as high yet. First thing we're going to worry about is getting the chainsaw out and going and cutting down those little trees, mulching the area, and then taking the plow over it. So let's jump on into the Massey Ferguson skid steer we have. Now we also do have to leave at 12 o'clock. We need to go ahead and start loading up the pigs. So we can't be spending all day on this little project because I have a specific time I have to be there with the pigs. If I show up late, they gonna be wanting to take money off of how much they're worth. I know it doesn't look like we're doing a lot, but this right here is breaking up the ground a little bit and making sure that we can get our cultivator through here and getting rid of these stones as well, helping breaking them up. So we're going to do this over first, then we're going to come back and run actual tillage over the area in a little bit. And by actual tillage, I just mean a two-row bottom plow. Now you see this is a lot nicer. Got it all kind of broke up a little bit. Need to go over this little spot right there, make sure. But now it's on to the more fun job, as I like to say. Let's get rid of these trees. Start with this one. These are at least small trees, so we ain't got to really deal with a whole lot. Kind of take them really down deep into the roots. There we go. Now we just got to run this over it, kind of tear the roots up a lot. That's one of the, honestly, main things we got this here for is rocks and roots, all that stuff. Get rid of them all, because the more we can break those roots up now, the better. Well, just like that, we should be done with this, actually. Let's run this back up there to the top. Let's go get the two-row bottom plow that we have. Finish this a little bit up and call this a big field now, which this right here by itself will make us so much more money next year. All right, let's go ahead and start her up. Back it up. Hold up. This tractor does this tractor in here have a 3-point? That does. We're gonna hope we have a stronger tractor than that with a 3-point. I know we have one more small tractor to look at, see if it has a 3-point. It does not. Well, looks like the Al Chalmers is coming out of retirement. I was not expecting this one. All right, let's hope all the work I've been doing there lately pays off. Come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on, come on. There we go. Fire it up. Go ahead and put her in gear. Rev her up. Yeah. May not be my most useful tractor, but it is one of my favorites. One thing you gotta watch for when you're using these old tractors is when you put it in gear that you don't accidentally let the hydraulics down. 'Cause I'm not sure if this tractor is one of them, but I know some of the tractors, hydraulics worked off of the actual transmission. Well, those hydraulics, when you would go into gear, would drop instantly sometimes. Trust me, I know very well. A little too well. Drop it down. Oh, you've got to be kidding. I know the other one I sold didn't have hydraulics. I don't understand what's going on here. There we go. Guess I'll just have to keep that wheel out of that side. Lift it up, drop it back down. Yeah, that old trick worked. Can't get her to go through. Just pick her up and drop it back down real quickly. See if that does it. It usually does the trick. Yeah, there we go. I know we're creating ruts like a mug right now, but the good part about these ruts are we can always take cultivator over it 2 or 3 times, get rid of them. But not only are we getting rid of them, we're still breaking up the roots right now. The roots are my main agenda. I don't really care about making the ruts. Well, this is great. It may not be the best done in the world, may not be even, but it's cultivated the way I wanted it to be and looks halfway decent. All right, one task done for the day. Too many more left. Next task on the list. Yeah, we're taking this one. We gotta make a load of TMR for the cattle. It shouldn't be too bad. First things are first. We're gonna take the bundle of mineral feed and drop them in. Now we get to do the fun job of loading hay bales. Now this will at least bust them all up, make them to where the cattle can consume them, but we still gotta at least load them up. Actually, that'll be the last one of those I put in it. I'm going to use bales for the rest of it. Do I by any chance have a tractor with a front end loader? Oh, I do. It's right there. I'm a genius. Come over here. Now, this is what I needed. Forgot we even had this tractor, to be honest. I'm going to use one of these three over here. These three are older. And since they're older bales, I'm going to use them first. There we go. Now we'll make some TMR real fast. Yeah, we can do that real fast. Throw a little bit of that straw in there just so I'm not potentially using up our silage bales. I don't want to use up too many of these. We actually might keep the silage bales for right now, just so we continuously can have something to feed the cattle during the winter, just in case we run out of hay. And I already know I've got to buy more hay if we do run out, but if we do need to buy hay, I'd rather only buy it for the one animal. There we go. That's a well-balanced diet now for those cattle. Go ahead and start feeding them. Cattle are fed. We'll part this back underneath the shed it belongs. Now that the cattle are fed, it's time to get in the tractor with better road gears so that we can take some water to the sheep real fast. Well, we might use the tower around here. I don't know if it charges us or not. That's my problem. If I knew, I could say, but if it does, I know how to get free water. I forgot I can fill it up just right there. Yes, we are going to fill it up from the pond right here. I mean, it's fresh water. It's got a spring up there that's bringing everything down here. All right, let's take this on to the sheep. Well, sheep have 100% water, which is 10,000 liters, and I'm going to be putting this up here in this barn. It's not the most fanciest barn. You got to come out here and grab this fast though eventually, because this has got to come back to the main shed. But for right now, we can at least store this in this shed right here. It doesn't fit in that little compartment over there, but it will fit in this compartment right here. So we'll close this up right here. We honestly might just move that into there. Call that, you know what? That's what we're gonna do. There we go. We don't need this back at the main yard, so we are gonna just take it and put it over here out of the way so that it doesn't get a bunch of snow on it and everything like that, which you don't want on those machines. I guess I'm gonna go deal with my next thing I need to deal with, and that is that over there. Close everything up and figure out what we are eventually going to do with that property, because we're not using that shed as of right now, and I really don't want to open up the garage back. It's still nice to have it though. Oh, I still have this tells you where my mind is. I still have this little sucker over here. I mean, does she run? Oh, like a dream. No, we may not get rid of her. We may just make this a storage area. I do need to figure out if I want to get rid of that though. That may be a good thing to get rid of. This over here. We're going to close up those doors. We can get rid of those two out there. Okay, we're starting to think of some ideas of where to put stuff. Because I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of getting concerned. I didn't know where we were gonna put everything. But with winter coming, there's some of this stuff I really don't want sitting outside. Every tractor needs to be in a shed of some sort. All right, I got the old welding truck hooked up. We have our trailer hooked and ready to go. We are actually gonna be taking this up here, loading up all the eggs. We're gonna load up the wool, go ahead and sell that for the year, make sure we get the money that we can off of that. And then we're gonna turn right around and sell or use all that money that we gained. We are gonna probably end up buying nothing but chicken feed with all the money we make off of these. I'm hoping to get like 8 bags, which should be about 8,000 liters of wheat, which should be about 8,000 liters of chicken feed, which should be enough to kind of get them through the winter, because 2 was enough to get them by however many months I've been here. Another $22,000 in our pocket. Now let's turn around and spend some of that on some chicken feed. That's actually a lot cheaper, so we're only spending $12,000 on all that chicken feed. Okay, well, went to the store, spent $700 on these little fancy hooks. Yeah, the bags, that's all I'm gonna say, just the bags are doing bag things, so we had to have a way to get them. And a $700 solution later, we know what we're doing. We hope. I ain't got no clue. I'm just making it up. Please send help. Well, I think since we've already put all of them in here, we'll just go ahead and put this last one in there, much as I would rather not to, but we'll do that anyway. And we'll buy 3 more for the other pen. So I'm actually going to park this in that shed over there because I know we're going to need it a lot through the winter. And honestly, since we're going to be playing shuffle roulette, I would rather this not be here. I think I'm actually going to let this go down to the big shed. So any of the pieces of equipment that are actually needed here on the farm through the winter will stay on the farm, like this piece of equipment right here. And then whatever's not needed is going to the big shed, and then we'll move everything back during the spring. Time is it 11:50? Yeah, let's go ahead and take this back down there out of the way, and let's go ahead and get these hogs loaded up onto a trailer, because I know that butcher's gonna be waiting for us in a little bit. There we go. All my girls are in and they look good. Got all the pigs in. We gotta close up and head on to the shop. Well, all the animals are now sold, but I got a problem, and I'm gonna just be upfront and honest with you guys. I can't take them to an animal dealer to sell them like I originally wanted to. As I just found out on Silver Run Forest, which by the way is the map we are playing on, there is no animal dealer, and that irritates me so much. I would thought this would have had an animal dealer. I don't know why. I know it's mainly for forestry, but still, being a farm sim map, that is, I thought one of their legitimate requires is every map has to have an animal dealer. Apparently not though. So I made a mistake. We're moving past it. Learned something new. I am going to try to figure out something so we can continue using the trailer, but I was just explaining to you guys why we didn't have any footage of me actually taking them to an animal dealer. I'm gonna go put his trailer up, and then I'm going to start moving equipment where it needs to go. All right, I'm going to put this right here, shut her down. Another tractor put up. We just gotta get the rest of pretty much everything that goes in here. So this is also gonna stay here just in case we do need it. I doubt we will, but I'd rather hear and be safe than sorry, because it does have the pilot force on the front. So let me spend a few minutes, guys, getting everything put where it goes, and I'll see you guys once everything is where it's supposed to be. Alrighty, and the last piece of equipment coming over to this place is finally coming. Yeah, I'm taking the old Alice Chalmers over here. I'd rather stay over there near the farm, but I think she'd be better off over here. Plus, we're going to be over here a ton through the winter. This is going to be like my second home, I've come to realize, because there's a lot of equipment that needs some work here. I mean, pretty much everything in this shed needs to be worked on a little bit. I know there's a little bit of a leak on this right here that's got to be fixed. So I'd rather everything come over here that needs to be fixed. So we've got it here, and we can close the gate and not open that back up till spring, hopefully, when we need it. So we ended up putting most of everything over here out of the way, and you should see the farm. It's a ghost town. Anything that I really didn't want outside is now underneath a type of shed. There was a couple pieces of equipment that I was like, you know what, we're just gonna leave outside. Starting with the gravity wagons, we are leaving that out. Sadly, all these bales are gonna be sitting out, but they're wrapped, so I'm not that worried about those. We moved both of the things that was over here, so that little forage wagon and then the bale trailer. Bale trailer's in there, forage wagon's up top. It's honestly sad to see. Farm looks pretty empty. Put my good truck in the shed, got this in here as well, along with the mower in the back, hay rake underneath storage. Well, these are the 3 tractors that are going to keep the farm moving during the winter. That's the main thing we're having them here for. We move this up here so that something happens on that hill, it don't break away with it. And this right here is where we put the silage wagon, and that's just because there's that little PTO shaft on it. I wanted to put that underneath the shed, but it's a slurry spreader. I can't do that to myself. I wanted to put this, but this is going to be a pain. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to crack this right there, and any of the water that runs out, it'll run out right there, so we ain't got to worry about it, because it's going to be definitely snowing here soon. We're looking good and we're looking ready. There's only one more piece of equipment that I've not touched, and I know you guys have been dying for me to go deal with it, and I've been a little bit too. I just haven't had the time nor the need to, but with my little can of ether right here, we'll figure out how to get her started. So I know I have the keys to it. We're just gonna jump up in here. All right, we're just gonna hit it once. I know the battery should be still decent because I turned the key on. Looks good. Go ahead and spray that. A little bit of liquid encouragement. Come on. Come on, come on. Come on, come on, come on. There we go. See, a little bit of liquid encouragement always helps. I guess I'll take this all the way down there to that other shed and work on it, because it probably does need some maintenance. All right, That's put up properly. Good morning, everybody. It is March, and it is time to get to work. I got my cousin coming over because we have a lot to get done today. We've got to get a lot of the anhydrous done for the corn, and there's a lot of spots that need to be done. Actually, I need to see if I can repurchase this little spot. Purchase field information. And so I also need to purchase that soil data right there. But we got to go ahead and get all these fields done. And these, I have some decent pH since we took care of it all last time. Now we just need to take care of the nitrogen, especially in like these little areas like this where we're going to be planting corn. I do plan to mainly plant corn this year so we can do a lot of silage. And when we don't do silage, we're going to do in normal corn. And here's the man of the hour, Lieutenant Dan.
What we doing, sir?
Welcome back. You know, this is becoming a little too weird. We need a different brand on this farm. That's a Ram. This is a Dodge. Or no, this is Chevrolet. My bad. That's a Chevrolet, and I know this is a Ram over here, or a Dodge. Interesting. We need a Ford. Balance everything out. Make it in harmony.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking the same thing. Ford just kind of really rounds it out.
Exactly. You got to have the perfect number. All right, so get your truck put up, and we got to head to town.
Sounds good.
I'll let you ride with me. I mean, you remember everything to do at Grandpa's farm, don't you?
Yes.
Nah. Everything should look pretty similar because all I did was finish out last year's harvest season. Should look pretty similar to the last time you seen it.
Yeah, I mean, I remember running through these barns as a kid, so everything's kind of coming back to me a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Although I do remember sitting in the back of this truck, though. The memories, man.
Hey, those are some of the best memories right there to have. All right, let's go ahead and get all the old equipment out of the barn.
That sounds good.
Oh yeah, look at all this stuff looking nice and pretty. All the fresh spray paint in this area. Think it's time for everything to finally come on home, don't you?
I would agree as far as that.
All right, let's go ahead. I'll let you jump on the International. I'll take the old Alice.
Sounds good.
Go ahead and start her up. Let's get her on backed up.
Still runs like a top.
They all should. I just did maintenance on all of them. Made sure they did. They should all crank up first time. Put it in proper gear. Let's hit it and go down the road. Finally, home sweet home for the old Alice Chalmers. Go ahead and pull it into here right where she belongs. Go ahead and shut her off. Ain't that thing looking pretty where she belongs?
You like this?
We'll put it up here for right now.
All right.
All right, well, you put that up and we'll head back down there and get the next one. All right. Time to take the main workhorse at least back to the farm. The good old 4250. Well, these are the last two pieces, bud.
Perfect, man. It felt good to be back in Grandpa's old equipment.
Oh, yeah. Well, sadly, we can't even use none of it for the job we got to get done today.
Oh, what do we got going on today?
So I have a couple of things that we need to get done if you want to come with me. So I want to start creating a new field.
Okay.
And I'll show you where I want to make this said new field. Oh, not there. Maybe or not.
It'll buff out. It's a Chevy.
Yeah. So you see this little patch down here?
Yep.
So everything from like right here on going to this little triangle bit, like just keep going, just keep going, just keep going. Yeah, we're almost there. Yeah, we're almost there. Yep. To about right here. I want to clear all that out, cultivate it under, and make it into a field.
I'm down for that.
I've already removed some of the big stones, or well, removed the big stones out actually already. The only things that are left to do is the trees, and you don't got to remove many actually. I would remove this one right here. Actually, I'd go even a little bit further back like here. I would take out this one right here. Pretty much every tree from this point forward, take away, and then make a nice little section for us to have another field.
Absolutely.
So do you want to use the old tractor for this and I head to town and go get the anhydrous bar?
Yeah, I can do that.
All right. No, that's what we just got to do. We got to do a lot of little areas like that. I'd like to make at least 3 new fields for next year.
Sounds good to me. Yeah, that'd be a good idea. At least get some crop production going.
Yeah. I'll show you where the trailer you're going to need is, by the way, as well.
Okay.
Because we are going to sell the logs. See that one right there?
Yes.
The long one is the one you're going to take.
Okay.
Not the gooseneck, but the bumper pull long one. That'll be the one you're going to use for the logging. Actually, I'll leave you this and I'll just take the motorcycle down there.
Okay. I was going to say I can take my truck too.
Yeah. All right. So go ahead and take my truck and I'll just use the dirt bike.
All right. Sounds good to me.
All right. Let's go ahead and head in here. How's it going, ma'am? I would like to rent your tractor, and then of course I'd like to rent a anhydrous bar and anhydrous tank fully filled so that I can. Oh, you don't do fully filled? I just gotta fill. Okay. You will reimburse. Okay. All right. How much do I need to put down? 5 grand for the rental. There's 5K for the rental. And I'll fill it up out here. And okay, automatic take it. Sounds good. We'll take this on back there and go grab it real fast. Bring it back up here. All right. So now look at here. A 7930 John Deere tractor. I've actually never used one of these this fancy, but kind of got to use some a little bit on the more fancy side for these anhydrous bars, I've been told. So the goal is to put down some nitrogen ahead of time so that we can go ahead and start really good growth on corn next month. I want the nitrogen to have plenty of time to settle on the ground as well, but not too much time because we are putting a direct gas down. There we go, $8,000 removed, and then they'll give me back whatever we haven't used. So they are going to weigh the tank. I do need to pull it all the way to where this isn't on, just the tank is, and whatever the tank doesn't weigh when I come back. Whatever the tank doesn't weigh, they'll do the math, and they'll figure out how many gallons they used, or I don't know what they go off of. Go throw the 4-ways on. And off down the road, here we come. All right, we'll go ahead and set this down right here. Turn on the anhydrous. So far, not so bad. We're getting everything put down. How to switch out the tanks for something a little bit better, in my opinion. We'll go ahead and put down a bunch of nitrogen on this entire field. Hopefully it won't take too long. We'll just see though. So get to do my favorite job. Turn up the radio, sit back, relax, and we got a lot of fields to get done. Let's get it done. So they ended up depositing about $4,000 back into our account. So we are officially done with anhydrous now. Now we just got to figure out what else is left to do on the farm today. I'm actually going to leave this right here. Let them take care of it. I'm taking a little dirt bike on out of here and get back to the farm. Actually, I think it's time we go check on my cousin. How's it going, Lieutenant?
Oh, it's going pretty well. You know, just trying to cut these a little bit smaller than what this actually is and getting them loaded up. So I think we got to the spot where we needed to be.
Oh yeah, you got this right here.
Rocking all the way over there. Oh, yeah.
But this is gonna be the perfect size. Hopefully give us some good yield.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we got some good fresh water right down here. We could pump some of the water in the irrigation system all the way up here, maybe.
Those are expensive though. Well, I mean, I guess while you do that, I'm gonna go make sure the animals are all taken care of, and then we'll probably call it for the. I'm gonna call it for the day while you get that finished. Good morning, everybody. It is another great day here on the farm, but a little bit of sad news. Sadly, I recorded an entire video with Dan, and it all got lost. Yeah, something very similar to happen. It kind of recorded multiple videos, didn't check, and my audio on some of those videos just didn't work. So I kind of want to go over what all happened in that episode with you guys. Not really a lot happened. We honestly just planted the fields. We have these two right here planted. That's corn, beans, and then we have all these three right here planted oats. This is planted in corn as well. We also made a lot of money via selling wood from that little spot over there, and it's ready to rock and roll. Honestly, we need to start figuring out how we're gonna get a plow and plow that eventually, but that's later. That comes later. We got a couple big tasks that we gotta do today. We need to go ahead and get all of the fields weed sprayed. Yep, and put down a little bit of nitrogen. I don't think would be a hurdle on the corn at least. Or not nitrogen, my bad, I misspoke. Put down a little bit of fertilizer just so they get a little bit of extra kick and go. So let's go ahead and jump up on top of the good old John Deere 6,000. So what's left in this tank and what's right there is all of the herbicide we have left. 2,002 liters left. Hopefully it's enough to get the job done. You know, I don't feel like driving all the way around this barn. We're going down the fun way. I do not recommend this at home. Do not do this. Go ahead and unfold this right here sprayer. Lift this all the way up just so that we don't accidentally hit the booms on anything. There we go. Get rid of all the weeds all in one go. I am definitely, now that we kind of are starting to get out into these fields more, I'm starting to like the decision I did to go ahead and expand some of the fields just to make sure we're getting that extra little bit of productivity out of each field. That done right there. Get this little bit right here done as well. We may actually have enough to do every single field with herbicide, so that sounds good. I'm gonna go ahead and get all of the fields sprayed herbicide and probably spray the cornfields with a little bit of fertilizer. And a lot of spraying later. We finally got all of the spraying done. Now we start worrying about getting the mowing done and then the tedding and baling, because we need a lot of hay, honestly. I do not know though where I put the mower. Alrighty, so we got the mower on out of here. We got the mower hooked up and we are good to go. We're gonna be doing this small little plot right here because we want to do square bells out of this. Kind of pull forward. Hold up. Make sure we get GPS activated. There we go. Go ahead and make sure we have that activated. That's one of my favorite parts about this little Ford tractor. It does have the GPS option, so it keeps us a little bit straighter and better. We're also going to ted this in a nice neat rows so that we can actually dry it out and turn it into hay, because we need those small square hay bales back so we can continue feeding the cattle. We're seeing really good yield. I guess some of that nitrogen we put, never mind, about the same actually. I'm actually going to stop for a second, get on out here. I want to take a look, make sure the crimper's doing a pretty good job, and it absolutely does look like it's doing a really good job on crimping the whole field. Yep. So it's doing its job, make sure things going to bale really nice and go into the baler perfectly. So we are going to go ahead and hook up to this right here. We're going to go ahead and hook up to the bale trailer. All right, go ahead and turn on that baler, lower that. There we go. Now we're starting to make some bales. So I'm expecting probably about 2 layers-ish of these little square bales, which I'll be fine with. That'll be more than enough to make TMR with for a little bit. Because honestly, I want to get as many cuts as I can this year off the hay. And bale number 50 finally made. So we are 50 bales into this field. And honestly, I wasn't even thinking we were going to get like 25 out of this field. So we are doing a lot better than I thought. 63 bales is what we ended up with. So we ended up getting 3 layers. I only thought we'd get 2. We're actually going to be able to make a lot of TMR out of these bales. Welcome back to this series right here. This is the Homestead, guys. Me by myself again today, and we got a lot of stuff to get done today. And I mean, there is actually a lot to get done. So we got to go ahead and make sure we get all the animals fed. Got to go ahead and make sure we get the cattle fed down here, get the sheep some more feed. Chickens should actually be pretty fine right now. Food, they have plenty of food right there. How are these girls doing over here? Plenty of food right now. We're not really worried about the chickens too much right now. I am going to come over here and start taking a couple bales of hay on over here to the horses. Both the horses are looking fantastic. They're getting a damn price too. We're getting close to the $30,000 mark, I want to say. Horse, yeah, we're getting pretty close to the $30,000 mark. I don't know what their max is, so kind of part of me wants to keep them, see how long they go. The other part of me is like, they need to get sold because we need some money. And honestly, once we get about 60,000, or once we get about 30,000 a piece, it's going to be really hard not to want to get rid of them, just due to the fact of these horses could honestly pay off most of our debt, the $75,000 debt that we know of right now. There we go. Put that last bale in there. We'll put one more just to make sure they have plenty of feed. Water trough looks perfect. Ain't got to worry about that for a little bit. Actually, we need to go worry. Well, we'll water the sheep once we get the bales done. Let's go ahead and start up the old Ford. I only have a forward gear? Hold up. I don't have a reverse in my tractor anymore. How did it, what the crap? Yeah, it's only got, it's not, come on, going the forward. Yeah, it's not going in reverse at all. We'll just shut this down right here for a minute. I guess we're not using that tractor today like I thought. We're gonna jump on over here and use the good old 4250. Concerning, that was the best tractor on the farm here. And if anything didn't have an issue running, and that was the tractor. So now that means I've either got to pay an expensive repair bill or buy another tractor. Yay. Betsy, get back in the pen. Betsy don't like being in that pen. She'll get out and just sit right there next to her, but still out of the pen, so it aggravates me. At least this tractor has reverse, so we'll utilize what we have, and reverse is not what we have right now. Oh yeah, we do. Okay, I'm about to say, I don't think we have a single bale of hay right now. Now we'll just jump on over here, climb into this big son of a gun, turn mixer on. We'll go right here. We'll just start chucking the bales in and load that one up as well. How much more? Not much more, but we do need a little bit more. I want to kind of fill this up to my best ability, as full as I can get. And we do need to eventually take these bales and throw them up top into the other barn where the horses are, because these are technically our horse hay. Just don't like to use it. All right, move out of the way, girl. Come on, move. Thank you, girl. All right, let's go ahead and unload this into here. We'll unload the full batch of it. So this is pure TMR we're putting into here. Should be plenty of food. Oh yeah, well, they've actually been needing some food, it looks like. All right, and now that we got that done right there, we'll go shut that tractor off right there. And we need to go ahead and get started on getting things mowed now that all the animals are taken care of for right now. Gonna shut that off, get back into here. Let's get this backed up to the mower, because we got a nice little chunk of an area to mow today. It's actually the biggest part of the whole farm. So we'll go ahead and get this little pasture area mowed. Hopefully it won't take too long to get it all done. Go ahead and get this done. Then we're going to go back through with the wind rotator, make sure that we have. We'll go ahead and use that on this, turn it into hay, because we do need a lot of hay bales. And we're probably going to cut this into half. So half of it's going to be turned into silage, and the other half is going to be turned into just strictly hay. So I think there's no better way to do it than let's go ahead and get all of this area done. Let's get it wrapped up and mowed. So let's hit the radio and get to work.
Drove around all across the land, thought that I was caught
are finally getting done with this right here little job of getting everything kind of windrowed together. We got the majority of everywhere where we want to bale as hay ready to go, and of course the areas where we just want to go ahead and do the smart thing and put down some good old silage in a pits. We have those areas ready to go as well. Now I'm gonna turn this on right here and we'll go ahead and start baling up the hay. We have a ton of hay to bale, which is good because we need way more bales of hay than we currently are at. All right, this right here should be bale number 13 getting done. There's bale 13. We will probably not get 14 out of this, but 13 bales out of this little area. A lot more than what we've been seeing. So we'll go ahead and pull it on over here, store the rest of this up, and now we'll go ahead and take this right here. Actually, no, I want to use the John Deere for it. We'll use the John Deere to go ahead and get the silage wagon. All right, the silage wagon will be all the way up here at the top of the farm. Grab up here, grab it real quick, bring it down. Just drive on up here, grab it real quick, and bring it on down. Alrighty, so far so good right now. We're actually rolling really well, and we might get a couple loads out of this. I'm thinking 5 or 6 loads out of this little area. We actually left this little bottom strip just to make life a little bit easier. There we go. First load. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, it should be about 5 or 6 more loads, what we should end up getting, roughly. And just like that, we have the last load of silage. But if we can back it on in here, we can actually load it. That's if we can back it in here. Go ahead and put that right in there. There we go. Now we'll disconnect that over here out of the way. Now let's drive on over to the silage pit until this thing is completely able to be. Oh, this is gonna take a while. Well, good morning everybody, welcome back to the homestead. Took us a little bit, guys. We lost the save game there for a little bit, but we got it back and it's better than ever. We just got to go over exactly what we got to plan for today. So we got some oats to harvest. We have 3 fields of oats. They're not the biggest fields in the world, but we also do got some grass that we've also got to get done today. Also, we've got to go make some serious money. I was looking at all of our stocks, technically, like our eggs, grass, silage. We own a massive amount of wool, $43,000 worth. And on top of that, we own $22,000 worth of eggs. We're selling all that today. There's no reason that we need to keep all that stuff around, especially when we can go ahead and get rid of it and make that quick cash and be able to turn around and invest that back into the farm. Daily check on the horses, almost at $30,000. Also, guys, I want your guys' opinion with the horses. Do you think we go ahead and sell them once they do get to that $30,000 range? I kind of do, but I want your guys' opinion. Load those eggs up right there. And we'll take these on over here and load up the other ones. Just like that, we'll take all of these eggs right here and go sell them for a nice little profit. Move out of the way, chickens. Move it or lose it. Alrighty, we got all the wool and eggs loaded down. Now we'll take it over here to the co-op, get it sold, and hopefully get it sold for a decent price. I'm thinking about everything should be said and done. We should get about $60,000, $70,000 what I'm thinking in total. By the way, we also did get an additional $30,000 from last time where we had the Ford tractor end up breaking on us. We did find out that it was the reverse and we didn't use it enough for the warranty of the dealership to go out. So he just gave me $30,000 back for it. So we do got to go out there today also and pick up a new tractor. Alrighty, let's go ahead and deliver the eggs as well. That puts us at $128,000. So we'll take that money. Now we get to go buy a brand new tractor for us. Yay. I can't believe we lost the one good tractor we had at Ford. But he did tell me that he had a really nice Alice Chalmers just come in that he's not wanting that much for. It's around the $40,000 mark. Which, yes, is more than what we paid for the Ford, but it's a better tractor. And here she is, a 7080 Alice Chalmers. Got a nice little rock box up here. I mean, actually not a bad look, pretty clean looking tractor for what I can tell. Let's see if she fires up. Oh, fires up like a dream. I mean, $40,000 for us, a 200 horsepower tractor or 250 horsepower tractor. Yeah, we're gonna get it. All right, let me go do some paperwork with him and let me get that onto the trailer, get it back to the farm because we found our new tractor. $40,000 out of my pocket later, but we have ourselves a new new to us Alice Chalmers. So they don't make no more Alice Chalmers that I know of. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this on up to the trailer, pull it on up here. We gotta get this back to the farm because I think we're actually going to use it to cut grass with today. Go ahead and turn on the old mower and let's see if we can get more hay out of this. So the reason we're cutting hay out of this right here, and we're going to recut that down there, is we do have enough, I think, for the cattle for the year, but I don't think we got enough for the sheep. We got to make sure we have enough for all the animals, including the horses, everything. And I just don't think we have that yet, and I don't think we're actually going to have enough. We may end up needing to buy some at the end of the year. Well, we finally finished mowing, so we're going to take this on back up there to the top Parker where she belongs, and we're going to let the grass actually dry for a little bit. It seemed a little bit wetter than I thought it was going to be. Don't know how that works, but sometimes that's how it works in the morning time. We'll probably let it sit to this afternoon, or maybe even let it sit for a day. Kind of make sure it gets to the right moisture level because we don't want no accidental bale fires. Alrighty, so I've come up with a really smart plan in my opinion. Before we start harvesting, I want to sell a couple bales of silage. Not many, like 4 or 5. And the reason I want to do that is because this field 39, has been for sale for so long. They've just marked it underneath $90,000. And we're pretty close to that. And honestly, yes, we could pay off the $40,000 worth of debt we have left, or I can make an investment into land, which is worth more money. I think I'm going to go with land because the price of land just keeps going up these days. And to be honest, I don't think the price of land is ever going to come back down. So we'll go ahead and stack us up some bales. I'm thinking 5 bales should be plenty to go ahead and get that over there. And still leave us with like a grand or two for our own personal business. Go ahead and snatch the last bale over here that we need. Oh yeah, I think we have plenty of silage bales. It honestly doesn't look like we even put a dent into the silage. And plus, we don't just have bales, we also have that entire pit of loose that we have over there. So we're actually not looking too bad. We'll be able to make a little bit of money off this, be able to buy that new field, and especially because it's a ready to harvest field, we can go ahead and make some money back off of it and start paying the land back. Might make actually a little bit more than we think. $95,000 is what we have. So now we can come over here and purchase that land. Oh my Lord. That was actually a really big land purchase for this. Now I need to know what soil data is for that over there. Nothing great. Oh, perfect. We have that little sliver to work with. The rest of us sandy loam, and yeah, sandy loam. It is what it is. We'll take it though. Hey, it's good land at the end of the day. It's more land than it's not as good as land as what we're currently harvesting, but it's decent land and it's a lot more than what we had before. So we can start making more money and our money back on our investments. Part of making our money back on our investments, it's time to get everything ready to head on down the road because we got to go get some harvesting done. Well, we got to get both the harvester and the grain wagon out there. I might hire one of the kids to come down and use the harvester. So I'm going to take this down first, get the harvester down there second, and then we'll finally start the harvest of the year. Oh, let's go ahead and fire up. Got the old combine out here to the field. Went a long way, apparently. I was trying to see which way was faster to the field. It was definitely not the way I went. So we're going to go ahead and start this up, and this thing is going to pretty much eat a lot of this. I would imagine we're probably going to get 4 loads of that trailer, if that's my guess. Let's do it the right way. I'm going to put my ear pods in, listen to some music, and let's go ahead and get this whole field harvested.
dream materialized. There were you, and I'm starting to realize it's true. Straight from the love dimension, a cosmical intervention. There is something from nothing, out of thin air.
Well, about an hour or two later, we finally are getting finished with this field. This thing took forever to get done, but we actually made some really good money doing it. We almost made back our entire investment of buying the field back all in one go. So that means next year when we replant this, probably in corn or soybeans, we will make back our money, which is a really big positive for once. I'm gonna unload the rest of this and we'll take it over there and sell it, kind of get a final total. That puts us back at $93,000. To think we're about $3,000 off from what we were originally, that means we can actually go ahead and stop for a second. And before the rest of the year continues, it actually won't let me pay my loan off yet. So it looks like we just got to keep the money, keep going and doing what we know how to do best. All right. Yep. You know what? I'll go ahead and buy it. I'll go ahead and send over the money. Hey, you have yourself a nice, good day, sir. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to the homestead. We have just made another land purchase since our last land purchase worked out such well in our favor and we made 99% of our money back. Why not go ahead and make another one? So I went ahead and with some help, I decided we're going to purchase plot 41 and we're going to go through and completely get it ready for harvest because we got to do some tillage on it. We got to do a lot. But before we can get that done, we still got to finish our own oat harvest. We got to bale a lot of fields. We actually got to bale all of these over here, the grass fields on top of those fields, and then get this field ready to bale. There's actually so much stuff to get done. I had to call in Lieutenant Dan. He should be showing up here any minute. While we're waiting on him, I'm going to go ahead and get the tractors warmed up because we don't got much to do. It's all around the home spot. And speaking of the man, the myth, the legend, the Lieutenant Dan, here he is.
Howdy, sir.
You finally figured out your way back to the farm. Good to see you. Good to see you.
Well, it took me a little bit, but you know, I kind of remembered as my left and rights. I get them mixed up every now and then, but you know, it happens.
Do we just need to tattoo it on your arm next time?
I think so. I mean, it might help out.
All right, bud. Well, we got a lot to get done today. We got to get some tillage done. I just bought another piece of land. By the way, I bought 2 new pieces of land. Look right here at the map I got. I bought that field. I bought that field 41. And then the field 39 as well. Went ahead and purchased both of those. So we got both of those now. We got to go and bale one field and cultivate the other one, get it ready for production.
Sounds good to me.
And then on top of that, we've also got normal grass fields that's got to be tedded and baled. And then we got to harvest a lot of other stuff. So do you want to go work on the 2 grass fields, the 2 long stretch grass fields? And while you go do that, I'll go harvest the oat fields that are left. There's only like 3.
Yeah, I can definitely do that.
All right, sounds good. Let's go ahead and start rolling out, bud.
All right, let's do it.
Teamwork.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
It makes something. I don't know how long this is going to take us. I wouldn't say dream work just yet. You be saying dream work, and we're sitting here for 4 hours still harvesting 3 fields.
I mean, with the type of equipment, I mean, probably could happen.
Hey, you weren't here the other day, dude. It legitimately did take me 4 hours for that one. No, what was that? 6 hours for that big field?
Oh, I can't imagine.
I can, because I lived it.
Hopefully, I had a nice little, some Netflix pulled up or something.
How you supposed to do that in an open cab combine?
Hey, you can find your ways. You know, there's little suction cup things for it. You know.
Yeah, good luck hearing it though.
That's what you got earbuds for, right?
Yeah, they don't work too well. You need those new AirPods that are noise canceling, I guess.
That is true.
So one good thing about this year compared to last year, we're actually harvesting a lot better. Meaning, if you look over there in the corner, we're in the yellows and greens where we wanted to be last year that we weren't. Right now, we're harvesting at 111%. That is what I am talking about. These fields are yielding so much better when you actually put care and nurture into them. Well, first load of oats are ready to go into the buggy right here. So we'll go ahead and pull underneath and unload this all into the buggy. I'm hoping honestly for like a load and a half out of all three of these fields. If we get a full load, I'll be happy. If we get a load and a half, I'll be extremely happy as well. But it all depends on exactly what we end up getting. There we go. Last little bit of this field. Got this trailer to 33%. Let me go get these last two fields done and we'll be able to figure out exactly how much oats we got out of this. Well, we didn't get exactly what I wanted. I wanted a full trailer. We didn't get it. I was hoping for more. I thought we had more in it. We didn't. We only had 68%, but it yielded a phenomenal. I am really happy with the yields. These yields right here show a lot of improvement from last year, and that's realistically the thing that we wanted to care about most. Going into next year, we'll plant some other crops and figure it out better, but at least we were able to come to a census and be able to understand that we needed to do those nitrogen put downs. Actually, how much nitrogen did that take up? More than I wanted it to. So we need to re-put down nitrogen and probably put down some pH as well, if I had to take a guess. Will get us to 55. Come on. $60,000. That's what I'm talking about. That's what we wanted to see. So that got us to the $60,000 mark. We are still making plenty of money. The farm is being very profitable, and that is at least the best part. But I'm going to take the profitable part, meaning I'm going to hook up to this over here. All right, so I'm going to take the windrower right here to the first oat field to go ahead and start getting that windrowed so that Lieutenant Dan can come in and start baling behind me, which I think he's probably either starting on baling by now or is about to start baling. Lieutenant Dan, you on the radio?
Yes, sir.
All right, you gonna bring, or have you already started baling that grass field, or are you just gonna come over to the oat field and start behind me?
I can come up over behind you.
Let's just go ahead and start knocking out the straw fields first, and then we'll swap back to the hay fields. Make sure everything has time to dry.
All right, perfect. Sounds good to me. I'll meet you over there.
Sounds good, buddy. Go ahead and make sure both of those are down. So we'll go ahead and start doing the headlands first. Actually, no, we're not. That was a me mistake. We're going to just go ahead and do up and downs so that when he gets here, hopefully we are like a pass in front of him or something similar to a pass. All righty, let's go ahead and start getting this on windrow together. everything is now windrowed together. Everything's nice and neat for the man. While I'm letting him do that, I'm taking this back up to the main shop. We've got to get it ready. Got to get our hose down and ready to rock and roll so that we can get soybeans done and corn. I honestly don't know how much longer we're going to end up keeping this piece of equipment because it's a good tractor, really is. I love it. But I think we can do a little bit better. I really do. I think we can use something that's actually going to be better for the farm. But before we can do anything better for the farm, we got to get some work done. And part of getting work done is getting this old girl out right here. Been a little bit since I've been able to get this tractor on the road, but the 4250 has got to get on the road once again and get some tillage done. I want to get a bigger piece of tillage equipment eventually. Actually, how much horsepower does this tractor have? It has 144 horsepower. We could do this. How big of a piece is that? That's 7. What's our current? 7 compared to 3.2. Well, looks like we went ahead and picked ourselves up a new pair of cultivator. And this thing is actually double the width of our current cultivators. We're been better. Alrighty, we'll go ahead and hook up to this cultivator right here. They went in and delivered it out right here, so we'll pick it on with us. Now this is what you call cultivator right here. This is actually double the width of our current combine. We'll be able to use this to go around the current new field with and start cultivating it and get it ready for next year. So I'm going to give it a little bit of space in between, but we're not giving much. We need to take as much of this land as we can, put that in the ground. There we go. Starting to make ourselves a nice little field. Well, good morning, everybody. And how is everybody doing today? It has been a long time since I've been doing this. And guys, we are back on Homestead RP, guys. I want to give a little quick disclaimer this morning and just let y'all guys know we are finally back making videos at our proper schedule, 5 days a week. We may go up to 7 for a little bit just because I missed so much time. This is the first video I've actually recorded in 3 weeks. A little bit too long of a break in my opinion I took, but hey, everything's needed a little bit of time away and had to take care of some family matters first. But what's more important is getting the stuff around the farm took care of today. We have a lot of bales that need to be picked up all around the farm, and I really don't want to spend 10 years loading them all, so we're gonna go right here and we're gonna rent this little trailer right here. So I went ahead and had it delivered right here. So this right here costs about $3,000 to go ahead and take it on over there and start using it. This will cut our loading bales time in like half. We're also going to do ourselves a favor today and cultivate all the fields. It is September, so pretty much picking up bales, cultivate, and maybe a little bit of getting the fields fertilized may be our best bet. Go ahead and start loading these bales up right here. This field right here is what's going to take us the longest amount of time to get all the bales out of the field because there's just so freaking many of them. And one more bale, that'll be this field almost done, about 50% done. So we'll take these bales back to the farm. Actually, we can decide if we want to sell them or not. I don't know, maybe some good money. Yeah, you know what? We'll actually sell this first load just to get rid of it because we don't need so many bales just laying around the farm with the amount of cattle we have. The rest of these bales should be plenty for our cattle. Around roughly $10,000 later, we got ourselves a little bit of money off of those straw bales. We'll go pick up the rest of them, take them back to the main farm, and we'll be done with this task for the day. All right, and that is the last of the straw bales. We'll take these on back to the farm. Let's get the grass bales picked up and put them aside so we can get started cultivating. And there is all of the round bales done as well. Now we can start focusing on getting all of the ground cultivated and ready for replanting next year. Or honestly, later this year. Some of this ground we can put right back into something else immediately. Like we can plant barley, canola, some canola. We might do some canola in the big fields. Is it the last? Yeah, it's the last month to plant canola. I know that brings a really good, pretty penny. Go ahead and unload these as well. There we go. Detach that. Now we need to hook up to the cultivator and let's go and start getting all these wheat or oat fields turned into plantable ground again. Because if we can get them turned into canola fields, we'll make a really nice penny off of all the fields. Well, guys, I think it's time to do my favorite thing on the farm, to sit back, relax. Let's get a time lapse going to one of my favorite songs, Bo the Drifter.
The city life and the crazy nights. Figure I should probably give it a try. Baby, check it out, see what it's all about. But the traffic was fast and the money was slow. The people I met you never get to know. I kinda miss this place I used to live back home. Cause up here it's breakneck, paycheck, rat race, what's next? I'm tired of feeling like a small fish in a big pond. I think I'll go back where I came from, where everybody knows my name. My friends are still the same. I guess the slow life hit me just right, like a bonfire on a cold night. Hell, and you can keep your 9 to 5. Happy with the simple life. Yeah, I ain't here to try to change your mind, trying to save your time, in case you're thinking about breaking out the bucket list. Girl, you can skip this funny business, cause up there it's complicated and overrated. Down here everything is understated. That's alright by me. I got everything that I need, but there is breakneck, paycheck, rat race, what's next? I'm tired of feeling like a small fish in a big pond. I think I'll go back where I came from, where everybody knows my name. All my friends are still the same. I guess the slow life hit me just right, like a bonfire on a cold night. Yeah, you can keep your 9 to 5, cause I'm happy with the simple life. Tired of feeling like a small fish in a big pond. I think I'll go back where I came from, where everybody knew my name, and all my friends are still the same. I guess the slow life hit me just right, like a bonfire on a cold night. Hell, you can keep your 9 to 5, cause I'm happy with the simple life. Oh Lord, you can keep your 9 to 5.
Alrighty, and we are done with the cultivating of all the fields. We have both these done and all of the old oat fields finished. Alrighty, we got the cultivator detached off. We'll go ahead and bring this back up here. We eventually need to wash this thing out. It is getting dirty as all get out with all the farm work we've been getting done on today. Start this up right here. And I think that is the perfect way to leave off today. And we're going to come back after lunch and get some good old canola seed planting. Welcome back to the homestead, everybody. It's been a little bit since we've been on the homestead, but we're back and we're ready to go ahead and get started. Did a little bit of cleaning around the yard, getting ready for today, because today we have a lot of harvest to get done, and it's actually our last little bit of harvest as well. So we got to go ahead and knock out this cornfield right here and this cornfield and knock out the soybeans, and then we're done for the year with harvest all the way, which is exactly what we need to get done. Then we need to start focusing on getting tillage done and getting ready for next year, because next year is going to be a massive year with these 2 new fields. I'm expecting some pretty good numbers. Let's go ahead and do what we know how to do best, and let's go ahead and jump on into the Massey Ferguson. So I got the bean head hooked up, so we'll take the bean head and head over to soybeans first and knock those out. No Lieutenant Dan today. He's out doing his own stuff, working on his own business. He's got his own company going on, so right now we're just going to be forefronting the whole bean operation today and the corn operation, because we also need to go ahead and find some time to give a little bit of attention to the cattle, horses. I do want to sell the horses today. They're both worth over $30,000 a piece, and it's time just to get rid of them because it's time to get new ones. So far, the beans are yielding not the best, but not the worst at the same time, so we're just going to take the yield we're getting. We didn't really do much. These beans didn't really put the fertilizers we probably should have put on them. We could have put some fertilizers like some NPK or something like that. We just didn't get to do that this year. Well, it's a sad day. The whole field fit in this one combine. So we're just going to take it and go ahead and get it sold. Well, for that small little field, we actually made more money than I thought we were. We made $13,838 off that entire field. A little bit more money than I thought we were going to make. So we're going to take this on back, then go ahead and get the other header and start harvesting corn. Turn this on right here. There we go. Now, one thing I definitely want to do for next year is I would love to go ahead and actually buy a better combine. Better combine, especially in our price range, is a little still too much. The best I could probably end up getting would be like a Gleaner in series, maybe a New Holland right there. But pretty much right now, we're kind of stuck with what we have unless we make a lot of money off this field. So speaking about this field, let's go ahead and do the one thing we now do, turn the radio up, and let's finish out this field and get it done.
We all live on time we borrow, time our children to us lend. Here today, but gone tomorrow, like a spark fly in the wind. We all look up to our fathers, all our lives if all is right, and we all need our mothers when the day is dark as night, and the drums of war are getting louder, a sound you never heard before. Gonna come to your town, gonna find your corner, and we'll soon be knocking on your door. Someone pulls an easy trigger, puts another to the ground. Disbelief staring at his fingers, through which his blood runs with his life. And the drums of war are getting louder, a sound you never heard before. Gonna come to your town, gonna find your corner, and we'll soon be knocking on your door. Are there right in front of us, for so long buried in the snow. Yes, here we are, shining diamonds, burning bridges as we go. And the drums of war are getting louder, a sound you never heard before. Gonna come to your town, gonna find your corner, and we'll soon be knocking on your door. Gonna come to your town, gonna find your corner, and we'll soon be knocking on your door.
Alrighty, so we are done with the harvesting. Actually didn't take as long as I thought it was going to, and we are making a pretty good penny. This load right here should equal out to $100,000 in our banking account, and right there, 97% in this trailer. Go ahead and take it on over and sell it, and then we'll be able to decide what we need to do for the rest of the year. So we ended up selling all of our grain and the 2 horses, and now we have $175,000 left. We ended up buying 2 new horses. We ended up buying a painted and a black for $250 a piece. We're going to train them over the next year, kind of figure out what exactly they're all worth, and hopefully they'll be worth just as much as the other ones. Another thing we got to go ahead and do is settle off these here pigs. Each pig is worth roughly $1,000. So it's a little bit extra money in our pockets. And then last but not least, our cattle. They're doing fantastic. We've actually already had our next litter, or our next calvings. We've had 10 new calves, which is exactly what we needed for the farm to continue. But ladies and gentlemen, that is all the time we have for today. Thank you guys for the love, support, show to me. It's our family. And if you guys like the Homestead series and want to see next year, leave a like, subscribe. Just you guys do best. For me, it's our family. See you guys all in the next video. Peace.